بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام را تلك آيات الكتاب المبين إنا أنزلناه قرآنا عربيا لعلكم تعقلون نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص بما أوحينا إليك هذا القرآن وإن كنت من قبله لمن الغافلين صدق الله العظيم.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa ala amma ba'd. So inshallah, with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are starting Surah Yusuf. I hope we can finish Surah Yusuf, reflection of Surah Yusuf in the next 4 hours, which means every Saturday night for 1 hour, inshallah, before the Ramadan ends. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our fasting, accept our qiyam, ameen, ya Rab. Surah Yusuf. Scholars say that this surah was revealed around the ending of Meccan time. And some scholars say that actually it was revealed on the 10th year of Prophet Muhammad after he announced Prophet Muhammad his prophethood. Do you know what things happened, which incident happened on the 10th of prophethood, 10th year of prophethood? Sorry? Year of sadness. So year of sadness, or in Arabic they say Amul Huzn. It's very interesting. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed Surah Yusuf in the year of sadness. The word Yusuf in and of itself comes from asafa, which means sadness. So it's like actually Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching Prophet Muhammad in the year of sadness how to deal with your sadness. Because this entire surah talks about the sadness of Yaqub alayhi salam departing from his son, sadness of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, and how they trusted Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just to quickly tell you that Rasulullah sallallahu in the 10th year of Hijri, he went through big losses in his life. First, Abu Talib, his uncle, who provided him political protection, he passed away. Then his beloved wife Khadija passed away. And he was isolated after that. We all know the Sira incident. And the most difficult journey in his lifetime he actually took in this year, which is the journey of Ta'if, which according to him is actually difficult than the journey of the incident in Uhud, because he is inviting people and people are ridiculing him. This was the time when Allah is revealing Surah Yusuf. So when you are discussing Prophet Yusuf ﷺ's story or listening to him, try to imagine this from the eyes of Rasulullah ﷺ in the 10th year Hijri. Not 10th year, 10th year in Meccan time. Secondly, before we can start, I'll just tell you that there's so much to cover. I won't be sharing my thesis because it will be academic in nature. We'll be doing Tafseer style reflection, but I'll be focusing on family areas, parenting, raising kids, raising difficult messed up kids, raising good kids, social issues. These are the, inshallah, themes we will focus on, inshallah. And obviously some youth and social issues will come naturally in this surah. Before we can start the first ayah, the last disclaimer is that while reciting or reading Surah Yusuf or listening to the tafsir of Surah Yusuf, one request I have to all of you brothers and sisters, try to find your mirror. Surah Yusuf will talk about a lot of personalities. Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, his brothers, father, minister's wife. There's so many personalities will be discussed in Surah Yusuf. Try to find your mirror. We try to portray ourselves all the time in the hero of the story, but it's not the case all the time. When Allah is actually giving us the characteristics of Yusuf alayhi salam and his brothers and the minister's wife, who are you in this story? Try to find out that. And that will wake you up. That, see, this is how I was going to end if I wasn't going to improve. Some of you might be Yusuf. Some of you might be his brothers. Some of you might be minister's wife, who are planning and doing everything to harm someone else. So try to find yourself in this story. Okay, now let's start inshallah. First 3 ayat are disclaimer. so we will just rush through it inshallah. Alif, Lam, Ra is huruf muqatta'at. Only Allah and His Messenger knows the meaning. Tilka ayatul kitab al-mubin. These are the divine ayat. These are the miraculous ayat and signs of the clear and clarifying book. Inna anzalnahu Qur'anan Arabiyyan la'allakum ta'qilun. It is we who have revealed this Arabic book, Arabic recital, so that you might understand. This is very important, by the way. Surah Yusuf was revealed because the people of the book in Medina, they told the mushrikeen of the Makkah, if you want to trap Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam by asking them difficult question, ask why Bani Israel, how Bani Israel moved from Palestine to Egypt. If he's a fake prophet, he won't be able to answer this. If he's a true prophet, he will be able to answer this. So the entire surah was revealed to answer that question. Now beautifully Allah in this ayah says, Allah is revealing this incident in an Qur'an and Arabian. You know why this Arabi is important? Before this incident is revealed in Surah Yusuf, in Arabic text, no one knew about Yusuf and his story. Because this is an Hebrew incident, this is the incident in the cases of Mosaic tradition. Think about it. Coming in Arabic, the secret details about Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam life, what's happening in the well, what's happening in the room in the minister's wife, what's happening in the private room between the father and the son, the conversation. This in and of itself tells us one thing, that this was revealed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had no idea before this surah what was Yusuf alayhi salam personal story look like. Okay, third ayah, نَحْنُ نَقُصُّ عَلَيْكَ أَحْسَنَ الْقَصَصِ. We are going to tell you this story in the finest possible fashion. Ahsan al-qasas. By the way, this can be translated in few different ways. What's the translation? You will see only one possible translation in front of you. What does ahsan al-qasas means? Some people say it's a beautiful story. But there are three possible translations. When Allah says the story of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, we are telling in the best possible fashion, there are three possible meaning. One is that we, means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, we are telling you the best of all these stories. Second, or we are telling you in the best way. Because subhanAllah, there are many ways to tell these stories. I am also telling you the story. There are also other people will tell you the storytelling techniques are there. Allah is saying, we are telling you in a best possible way. That's also one of the possible translation. Third is, we are telling you the best possible aspect of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam's story. He might have so many conversations, but we are going to select few of those which are best possible conversations, which is connected to your life. So all the translation is possible. Okay, one thing. Why Allah is saying that this is the best story, beautiful story, finest story? When Allah tells a story and when we are narrating the story, there is one basic difference. Whenever Allah tells the story, there is only one goal in the mind of the Sharia, and that is guidance. So that we can learn lesson, we can apply. When anyone else is telling you the story, they might have different goals. Attention grabbing, storytelling, making money out of it, monetization. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling the story for one reason, so that we can learn and we can apply. Even, you know, subhanAllah, some of the novels which will going to mention some of the romantic scenes, they will mention in such a negative way, because they want to monetize, they want to get more views, more likes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will going to tell the story of Yusuf and minister wife also in this surah. But He will tell in such a beautiful way that even with such a story, we will learn something positive. Because at the end of the day, the storytelling purpose is for the guidance, so that we can learn and something out of it. Okay, now let's start inshallah. Now the story is starting about Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. By the way, Sheikh Asim, if you can come here, sit here right next to me inshallah.
إذ قال يوسف لأبيه يا أبت إني رأيت 11 كوكبا إني رأيت 11 كوكبا والشمس والقمر رأيتهم لي ساجدين.
One thing before I can move on. The last ayah says, وَإِن كُنْتَ مِن قَبْلِهِ لَمِنَ الْغَافِلِينَ. Think about it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, we are narrating you this story in the best possible fashion. And before this narration, before we are telling you, you were unaware of this. Whom Allah is talking to? Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Did you think about this? Allah is saying to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even you didn't know this story. Just think deeply. How many of you have heard the story of Yusuf salam before coming tonight? Raise your hand. Most of you, right? MashaAllah. So it won't surprise you what will happen in this surah that much. When this was revealed on Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Rasulullah had no idea what the next scene will be. Think about it. As he is narrating this story, as he is telling to the Sahaba, he's saying, okay, next scene, he is not aware of what is happening. And in the story of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, Allah is telling his story. That his brothers were going to throw him in the well. Your brothers were going to isolate you. Brothers of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam isolated and he had to go to Egypt. You have to go to Medina. Soon down the road he will come and become the king of the Egypt. Soon down the road you will come and conquer the Makkah. Soon he will going to forgive his brothers. Soon you will going to forgive your brothers in Quraysh. La tasriba alaykum al-yawm. So can you imagine the emotional state of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam as he is narrating this story, listening this story for the first time? Because Allah says before this you were not aware, because this is not very common in the Arab language or Arabic history. Now Allah starts the story. By the way, there are different scenes. Some scholars say there are 10 or 11 different scenes. Whatever scenes are important for our guidance, Allah mentioned that. So Yusuf alayhi salam might have many conversations with his father, but this particular conversation, by the way, is very important for teenager kids and for parents here. It's so important that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala narrated this and made a part of the Qur'an so that all of us parents, kids can learn from this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِذْ قَالَ يُوسُفُ لِأَبِيهِ. When Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam said to his father, by the way, some scholars say Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam during this conversation was 7 years old. Remember this, 7 years old. Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam went straight to his father. He said to his father, Ya abati. Now can you see Arabic? Did you see a repetition of Isqala Yusufu li abihi ya abati? The word abi came twice. This is actually to tell you that Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam had a special relationship with his father. Right? He went straight to his father and he said, Oh my beloved father. Okay. Ya abati, O my beloved father, inni ra'aytu ahada ashara kawkaban wa shamsa wal qamara ra'aytuhum li sajidin. I saw 11 stars and a sun and a moon, and I saw them bowing down to them, doing sajda to me. 11 stars and a sun and a moon. Okay. This is very important for the parents. First, Yaqub alayhi salatu wasalam, how many kids he have? 12 we know from the Quran. There is another biblical tradition tells us one more sister, but at least 12 sons. Think about it. If father have 12 kids, how many of you have 5 kids? Can you raise hand? No one? Okay, mashallah, 1. I have 3. And I know as a father and as a mother how busy we get if we have 2, 3, 4 kids, right? He have 12 kids. Think about it. 7-year-old son is coming without appointment. He's a prophet. You have 12 kids. He is more busier than us. And his son is coming. Dad, I saw a dream I want to actually discuss with you. 12 kids. And he is giving his son time. Isn't it surprising? And he's not even giving time. He's actually listening and advising in a beautiful way what you should do with this. Oftentimes we say that we are busy. We don't have time to give to our kids, subhanAllah. So if you want to be Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, or if you want to have a Yusuf alayhi salam in your family, let be Yaqub alayhi salam first. Right? That's a very important point. Second, isn't it surprising? Wallahi, I found it really surprising. Yusuf alayhi salam saw a dream, and we talk about that dream. He could have went straight to his auntie. He could have went straight to his 11 brothers. He could have went straight to someone else. Why he went straight to his dad? And that is highlighted twice in this ayah. Think about it. Because he had the confidence that my dad will listen to me and my dad will going to actually advise me. How many of our kids, I'm not bashing that. I know there is a culture of bashing dad in our modern society. But believe me, I'm not from that culture. But at the same time, we need to raise awareness that some of the dads are not actually giving attention to their family. How many of our kids will be comfortable in coming straight to the dad? The dad, someone bullied me today in school. Someone did this. I actually have to discuss something with you. Sometimes kids are not comfortable in going to that. We are learning here that Yaqub alayhi salam has such a beautiful relationship that he straight, Yusuf alayhi salam went to his father, subhanallah. Okay, what did he say? He says, Ya abati, I love you, dad. I saw 11 stars and a sun and a moon doing sajda to me. What does it mean? Tell me, what does it mean? 11 stars and a sun and a moon doing sajda to me. His 11 siblings and his father and his auntie. His mom passed away at the birth of Binyamin. Okay. Surprising. You know the interpretation. Yusuf alayhi salam, some scholars say Yusuf alayhi salam know the interpretation at this point. How? Because at the end of the surah, when the brothers will do sajda, he said this is actually the dream interpretation. So he says, I saw 11 stars and a sun and a moon doing sajda to me. But then he felt how to say it in a respectful way. He says, and I saw them doing sajda to me. If you see this ayah, Ra'itu word came twice. I saw 11 stars and a sun and a moon. How did you see, Habibi? I actually saw them doing sajda to me. This is a way of a humble person. He know, but he was manifesting humility. He didn't want to say that dad one day will come and you will do sajda to me, when I will become actually a big shot. So that's also humility. Okay, the first thing which Yaqub alayhi salam advised when he listened to the Yusuf alayhi salam's dream, he says, Ya bunay, and this is very important, parents, by the way, for parents, it's very important. Yaqub alayhi salam was in the dichotomy. Sometimes you will see beautiful kids in your community, in IANT community, and you will say, man, his parents or her parents are so proud, so lucky. And sometimes you will see troublemakers, and you will say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. I feel condolence for your parents, right? What about Yaqub alayhi salam? Yaqub had a son like Yusuf, and Yaqub had sons like pathological liar, who will kidnap his own brother. Now see what Yaqub alayhi salam is doing. Yusuf saw the dream, Yusuf shared the dream. Yaqub alayhi salam, first thing he says, Ya bunay, what did he say? Inni mashghul alan, I am busy right now, come later. Did he say that? Inni astakhdim WhatsApp, I am using WhatsApp. Did he say that? What did he say? Ya bunay, oh my beloved son, I love you. He's expressing love. Then he says, La taqsus ru'yaka ala ikhwatik. First advice, he said, okay, who is Yaqub alayhi salam? He's son of Ishaq, prophet. Who is Ishaq? Son of Ibrahim, a prophet. They know Bani Israel. Bani Israel is Bani Yaqub. Yaqub in Hebrew is called as Israel, the title. So when we say Bani Israel, that's the children of Yaqub. Remember this. He knew that one of my sons have to be a prophet because of the generation. When Yusuf alayhi salam shared this dream, he knew exactly where it's going. The first thing he says, La taqsus ru'yaka ala ikhwatik. Yusuf, Habibi, do not share this dream on your Instagram. La taqsus ru'yaka ala ikhwatik. Do not share this dream with your brothers. فَيَكِيدُ لَكَ كَيْدًا. They might harm you. You know what? At the parenting level he's doing? He's actually making real men. Not a baby boy. You know, many times we have this false bubble in front of our kids. No, everything will be fine. If you are good, people will be good. No. The reality is jealousy exists. You need to be careful what you are sharing with people. And people will going to plan to harm you if you have something. So you need to be very careful about your surrounding. And then later on he balances in a beautiful way. He says, do not think that your brothers will harm you because they are evil. He did not put a seed of hatred in their mind. Rather he says, Inna shaitana lil insani aduwwun mubin. It is shaitan who will going to be your clear enemy, and he will abuse your brothers and they might harm you. So it's shaitan who is bad, but your brothers will be used. This is, by the way, extremely important for parents and for the families. This ayah shows us that the urge of sharing our achievements and accomplishments throughout the world and social media, it's not healthy. It's not healthy. Rasulullah says, Kullu zi ni'ma mahsud. Every person who have a ni'ma, favor of Allah, will be jealous upon. So we need to be very careful. Whether it's about successful marriage life, successful accomplishment, you just need to share with people what is needed or necessary. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all tawfiq. Ameen ya Rab. Okay. By the way, yeah, I forgot the last.
Just skip over to the next ayah?
Yeah.
Or should we read both?
You can read both.
Okay, inshallah. قال يا بني لا تقصص رؤياك على إخوتك فيكيدوا لك كيدا إن الشيطان للإنسان عدو مبين وكذلك يجتبيك ربك ويعلمك من تأويل الأحاديث ويتم نعمته عليك وعلى آل يعقوب كما أتمها على أبويك من قبل إبراهيم وإسحاق إن ربك عليم حكيم.
Actually, one very important thing came in my mind while Sheikh Asim was reciting. Why Yaqub alayhi salam would advise that do not share this with your brothers? It's a good news. You're becoming prophet very soon. Why do not share with your brothers and they will be jealous out of this? Why? You will see this pattern in actually modern day. Do people get jealous over religious title and they try to harm each other over religious leadership? Absolutely. You might think if you're not that religious that this is not the case. People use any leadership role and they will get jealous with each other. Tooth and nail fighting will happen. You might not be able to see that. Yaqub alayhi salam realized this because he's a prophet himself. So he says, this will happen potentially, so don't do this. When we see in our communities, one Muslim community is fractured to other communities, most of the time it's inner jealousy. It's inner problem, subhanallah, which is a root cause of the division. Okay, now, Yaqub Islam said, do not share this with your brothers. And your brothers might not do something because they are bad, but your brothers will going to follow shaitan because shaitan is bad. Then he advised Yaqub, then his advice continues. Look at the fatherly advice, subhanallah, how much time he's giving to the son. He's not saying I have to go to work. And Yusuf did not take any appointment. That Saturday morning, 9 a.m., we have to go and we have to talk about something. He saw a dream, all of a sudden he entered in a room. And Yaqub is listening and giving him advice. كَذَلِكَ يَجْتَبِيكَ رَبُّكَ كَذَلِكَ يَجْتَبِيكَ رَبُّكَ. And Yusuf, that's how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will going to nurture you and He will select you. Very soon in the future you will be selected. Very interesting. Which word he used in Arabic? كَذَلِكَ يَجْتَبِيكَ. Okay, in Arabic there are a few words that Allah will select you. Istafa also is used. But here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses yajtabika. Yaqub uses yajtabika. You know why ijtaba in Arabic is called as you are selecting someone out of mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, out of favor of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That person did not do any effort to gain that title. Istafa is the selection when that person made an effort and he's selected. Yaqub al-Islam is making sure that my son stays humble. He says, كَذَلِكَ يَجْتَبِيكَ رَبُّكَ. And that's how Allah will select you. Your Rabb will nurture you and He will select you, not because you have done something, but because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have done a favor on you. وَيُعَلِّمُكَ مِن تَأْوِيلِ الْأَحَادِيثِ. And He will going to teach you. He will going to give you tools and resources because you need to make some tough decisions. Min ta'wil al-hadith, about all kinds of crisis management, dream interpretation, and all kinds of speeches. Hadith can be translated in many different ways. وَيُتِمُّ نِعْمَتَهُ عَلَيْكَ وَعَلَىٰ آلِ يَعْقُوبَ كَمَا أَتَمَّهَا عَلَىٰ أَبَوَيْكَ مِن قَبْلُ إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَإِسْحَاقَ. And He will going to complete His blessings over you and the family of Yaqub alayhi salam as He did for the case of Ibrahim and Ishaq alayhi salam. Tell me why He is mentioning that you will going to go through the same thing in the life what Ibrahim alayhi salam went through and Ishaq alayhi salam went through. Any idea? Yes. Absolutely. Ibrahim alayhi salam life was easy or difficult? Difficult. A young person, he have to challenge his father, idol manufacturer. He was kicked out of his house. He was thrown in the fire. he have to leave his family in the desert, where nothing is waiting for them except death. Then he have to slaughter his son until Allah replaces that with an animal. Full of sacrifices, full of sacrifices. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's reminding Ibrahim alayhi salam at this point, when the son is very young, that see, Allah is selecting you, but this path is not easy. You will be tested, get tough. You know, this is a way how you raise the kids. Don't put them under the bubble. No, nothing will happen to you, beta. Nothing will happen to you. No. Teach them, love them, nurture them, like Yaqub alayhi salam is doing. Like he's saying, Ya bunay. But at the same time, teach them reality that life is going to get tough only from this point. You need to get mature enough. And then he's connected with Ibrahim alayhi salam with Ishaq. You know why? Ibrahim alayhi salam with Ishaq. Why not Ismail? When Ibrahim alayhi salam got Ishaq alayhi salam, very late in his life. Did you see something? Ibrahim alayhi salam had to wait to meet Ishaq alayhi salam for such a long time. Actually, Ishaq was born after Ismail. This is a sign that a separation might come. Difficulties will come. You might not be in my lap all the way, but all will be good inshallah, because this is a part of the journey. Everyone have to go through all the prophets, especially our Ibrahim alayhi salam. Okay. Now,
لقد كان في يوسف وإخوته آيات للسائلين إذ قالوا ليوسف وأخوه أحب إلى أبينا منا ونحن عصبة إن أبانا لفي ضلال مبين.
Okay, now the scenes are changing. Now the story is starting where the brothers are going to plan. The next ayah says, لَقَدْ كَانَ فِي يُوسُفَ وَإِخْوَتِهِ آيَاتٌ لِلسَّائِلِينَ. So that, the first scene was kind of an introduction of the entire movie, if you want. And now the real scene is starting. First is, there are certainly signs, lessons, divine lessons in the story of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam for those who seek them. If you want to learn lesson, you will learn a lot of things today and tonight. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِذْ قَالُوا لَيُوسُفْ وَأَخُوهُ أَحَبُّ إِلَىٰ أَبِينَا مِنَّا وَنَحْنُ عُصْبَةٌ. We'll take some time in this minute, in this ayah. Allah says, when the brothers of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam were discussing that Yusuf and his little brother, his name is not mentioned in the surah. Who was the little brother? Binyamin. Should I say Binyamin or biblical Benjamin? Binyamin. Okay. That doesn't come naturally, right? Okay. Yusuf and Binyamin. Okay. So when brothers were discussing that Yusuf and Binyamin are more beloved to our father Yaqub than us, even though we are a usba, powerful group, and I'll tell you what it is. Inna abana lafi dalalin mubin. No doubt Yaqub alayhi salam is in clear misguidance. Allahu Akbar. Let's go one by one. Okay, tell me, when Yusuf alayhi salam saw the dream, where did he go? His father. When brothers had the problem with the dad, where did they go? They did not go to father to discuss. Right, point number one, harms of indirect communication in family. Harms of indirect communication in family. If you have a problem with someone, go to that person. Second, a big sociological fact here. When few brothers, these were the brothers who were discussing that dad is giving more favor to Yusuf and Binyamin. By the Yusuf and Binyamin were the youngest. The 10 were the oldest. Dad, Yaqub, is giving more favor to Yusuf and giving more favor to Binyamin than us. While we have to do everything. Nahnu usba. When dad needs yogurt from Walmart, he asks us. If there is a northeast, this example would be valid. If there is a snow, we have to clean the snow. Right? But when it comes to love and affection, dad is giving more time to Yusuf and Binyamin. We see him in a clear misguidance. That's the background they are coming from. But they were discussing within themselves. Now, there's a sociological fact. If there are a bunch of angry people discussing something about the same anger problem, anger issue, the anger will be squared, no, anger will be cubed. I'll tell you a simple example. If a person giving khutbah, he's clean shave, no beard. That's a big, Okay, after the khutbah is done, there are three brothers sitting at the back, me, Sheikh Ibrahim and Sheikh Asim. And we are saying, Sheikh Ibrahim, how was the khutbah? Khutbah was good, mashallah. But, usually this but is problematic. Did you see, he didn't have a beard? And Sheikh Asim will say, yes, actually I noticed that. And Sheikh Asim will say, you know what, if he did not have a beard, it means that he did not love Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Sheikh Ibrahim will say, if he does not have a love for Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it means he does not have an iman in his heart. And Sheikh Asim will say, if he does not have an iman, it means you have to repeat the prayer. Did you see what's happening? Three brothers, maybe jealous, instead of discussing with the imam or discussing with the board, they went and they were angry on something and they discussed within themselves. They made a separate WhatsApp group. What will happen? Pshoo. If you have a problem with your mother-in-law, if you have a problem with your father-in-law, if you have a problem with anyone in family, direct communication. Don't go indirect. It will going to increase the problem, right? And that's what happened. Sometimes we take these things lightly, but subhanAllah, Allah is telling us these stories for a reason. إِذْ قَالُوا لَيُوسُفَ أَخُوهُ أَحَبُّ إِلَىٰ أَبِينَا. Okay, second point here. And a very important point, subhanAllah. They said, and if you can see, subhanAllah, they said here, our dad is giving more attention to Yusuf and Binyamin, while we are powerful group. You know which Arabic word they are using for powerful group? Nahnu Usba. You know what is Usba? Why didn't they say Nahnu Jama'a or Nahnu Ta'ifa? Why they say Nahnu Usba? Usba comes from Asabiya. When you have a group based on certain Asabiya, certain commonality, certain prejudices. These brothers had same lineage as compared to the mother. Let's say in terms of mother, Yusuf and Binyamin are from different mother. The same father but different mother. When you will going to form a group mentality, a mob mentality, and you will be prejudiced in that, you will be biased in that, then what will happen? Then the most guided person, even if he's not from your group, the most guided person will seem misguided to you. Because Yaqub alayhi salam, they said, we are powerful group, we are Usba. Inna abana lafi dalal mubin. Our dad is misguided person. It means when you have a mob mentality, even the most guided person, if he's not from your group, he will look like misguided person. Does this happen in our time today? Right? Oh, he's such and such a scholar, sheikh, but he's not from our group. So let's find us flaws of him. That's happened all the time. Okay, third. Now you tell me. I will give you dua. I have some candy. No, I don't have, subhanAllah. They had problem with Yusuf alayhi salam. Yes or no? Okay. But why they are mentioning Binyamin in this ayah? Binyamin is young. If Yusuf is 7, Binyamin must be in his diapers. Yes, that's also a very reasonable point. But there is one more aspect to it. Next ayah says, if the lineage is the problem, why the next ayah says, Uqtul Yusuf? The next ayah would have said, if the lineage is the issue, Uqtul Yusuf wa akhahu. Kill both of them. Yes, Allah. Beautiful. It's a psyche of a jealous person. Psyche of a jealous person. When you have a problem with someone, you want to phrase it in a way that you look genuine. But they had a major problem with Yusuf or Binyamin? Yusuf. So the next ayah says, kill Yusuf. If you have a real problem with Binyamin, you would have said, kill Yusuf and Binyamin. But when you are a jealous person, you want to present your case in a way that will protect your ego. That you are not very bad. So Yusuf and his brother getting attention from his father, but eventually they have a bigger problem with Yusuf. So uqtul Yusuf. Okay. Now the next ayah.
اقتلوا يوسف أو اطرحوه أرضا يخل لكم وجه أبيكم وتكونوا من بعده قوما صالحين.
Since they didn't discuss with their dad, they said, our dad is giving attention to Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, so we need to do something. What's the solution? When angry brothers are discussing something, they always think about rebellious mentality, right? I'm not talking about IANT Masjid, I'm thinking about Yusuf alayhi salam brothers, right? So they said, Uqtul Yusuf. Let's remove this seed from our family. let's kill Yusuf. How much your backbiting and gossiping can go, how far? This far. Because you have made an innocent child a devil through your gossiping. And this is the consequence. You want to harm this person. Uqtul Yusuf, let's kill him. Avitrahuhu, or either throw him in the well. They were not confused, but they were confirmed on one thing, that we need to remove him from our family. Okay, brothers and sisters, listen to this. What's the reason? The reason is yakhlu lakum wajhu abikum. By killing him or removing him or throwing him in the well, we will get the father's attention. Very important. How many of you are in MSA? Come on, raise your hand. Okay. May Allah protect all of you. How many of you are in YM? Okay. May Allah protect all of you. The urge of getting attention, whether it's within the family or of the opposite gender, Surah Yusuf will going to remind us every now and then. Every night you will going to learn in this. The urge of getting attention will going to force you to harm yourself or harm other person. Here, brothers need attention of father. They will plan to kill or kidnap or throw Yusuf in well. Later on, minister wife will going to seek the attention of Yusuf and potentially harm him. Then women in Egypt will do the same thing, try to grab the attention of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. Every time when you want to grab an attention, especially in a negative way, you will try to do something. You know, in social media, when you see this, basically this bunch of clowns are refuting each other, when you see this, when you are seeking attention about the click and clickbaits, then that's what happened. You are harming yourself, you are harming others, and you are harming the community. This is very important aspect, very important. Okay, second thing. So they said, kill Yusuf or throw him in the well, throw him somewhere, we'll get our father's attention. But then they said, obviously they are the kids of the Prophet. You have to understand, subhanAllah, many a times we fool ourselves that, no, my son and my daughter cannot do because I am Imam of the masjid, I'm praying 5 times a day in IANT masjid, nothing can happen. Habibi, Yaqub alayhi salam kids. Yaqub was a prophet. And his kids are planning, let's kidnap our brother or let's kill our brother. So we should not deceive ourselves. Okay, then they said, وَتَكُونُ مِن بَعْدِهِ قَوْمًا صَالِحِينَ. And after that, we all will be good, we all do tawbah. Because obviously, we have to be good people, right? So that guilt conscious came. After that, we can do tawbah. Very American Muslim thing, right? You can do whatever you want and then do one umrah, everything will be fine. Let's do one zina and then I will go for umrah and the Thanksgiving, it will be fine. So, this entire mindset is telling us one thing. When you are doing an evil thing, a sinful thing, with the intention that you are making fun of tawbah. You're not saying, I'm weak, Allah, I don't have, but you're making fun of tawbah. That after all this time, I'm going to make tawbah. What will be the result? Allah will going to take the ability of doing tawbah from your heart after that sin. After brothers kidnapped Yusuf, did they do tawbah? No. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala snatched the ability of doing tawbah. If you do a sin, because you are a weak person, you fell into a sin, and you are sincere tawbah, inshallah Allah will forgive you. Inshallah. But if you are making fun of tawbah, then eventually this will happen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the ability to do this, inshallah, in sincere tawbah. Ameen ya Rab. Now, inshallah, next scene is coming.
قال قائل منهم لا تقتلوا يوسف وألقوه في غيابة الجب يلتقطه بعض السيارة إن كنتم فاعلين.
So when they were discussing, let's kill Yusuf, let's throw him in the well, they were having disagreement. One of them said, who is one of them? One of the brothers. By the way, some scholars say that this is the brother named, anyone? It's a historical fact. Yehuda. The entire Jewish tribe came from this brother. Some scholars say. Okay, one of them said, no, لا تقتل Yusuf, don't kill him. Killing is bad. وَالْقُوهُ فِي غِيَابَةِ الْجُبِّ. Instead, drop him into a dark well. So he was saying, select lesser of the two evils, right? Instead of killing him, let's let's throw him in the well, so that a passing traders, businessmen can stop by and they can take him. You will achieve your goal and you won't commit a crime of killing. By the way, what's the word for well in Arabic? Any idea? Bir. Bir. Why didn't they use bir? Why they use jub? Because ghayabat al-jub, bir is any well. But ghayabat al-jub, ghayaba from ghaib, very unseen, so it's isolated. And jub is isolated. So basically ghayabat al-jub is an unfinished well, which is not the usual place where people will stop. So it's very difficult for people to come at this isolated place to find water. So they want to keep Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam outside of his family. If they will put him in any well, it's easy for him, for father or for rescue team or Amber Alert to go to find. But they want to make a strategy that is impossible for him to come back.
قالوا يا أبانا ما لك لا تأمنا على يوسف وإنا له لناصحون أرسله معنا غدا يرتع ويلعب وإنا له لحافظون.
Okay, next scene is coming. They wanted to execute their plan. Where they agreed, they said, we are not killing, but we are throwing him in the well. Okay, now the plan is how we are going to take Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam from Yaqub alayhi salatu wasalam. Because since Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam shared this dream, Yaqub is already very possessive of giving chance to the brothers to take Yusuf. Qalu ya abana. They all said, this is another scene. O our father, ma laka la ta'manna. What's wrong with you? Why you are not trusting us regarding Yusuf? Tell me, what does his style tell you? The ayah is not saying, just send Yusuf with us. Rather, the ayah is saying, what's wrong with you? Why you are not trusting on us regarding Yusuf? What this ayah is telling you? That there is already conversation going on. The send Yusuf, and Yaqub is saying, no. So much so that kids are saying, ma laka la ta'manna. What's wrong with you, Dad? Trust us. We were going to take care of him. Wa inna lahu lanasihun. And we, by the way, this is incredible, subhanAllah. We are sincere with Yusuf. We will protect him. We are sincere with Yusuf. By the way, nasihun comes from love also. You know, nasiha, we give nasiha to each other. Literally, nasiha comes from love also. Nasahtu lahul wudda, Arab poet will say. The nasiha which comes from the deep love of your heart. So we are in sincere love with Yusuf. Can you see how much lying is happening? And they are the kids of the Prophet. Next ayah. They are actually giving their roadmap, their plan to Yaqub. They are saying, Arsilhu ma'ana gadan yarta wa yalab. Two words are extremely important. Dad, tomorrow we are going with him and he will going to do two things with us. Yarta, he will going to eat with us. By the way, yarta is not eating. Yarta is literally when sheep are grazing. You know, sheep are grazing. They are open and they are enjoying their life. They are grazing. It's called as yarta. Tell me why they use this word yarta. Any idea? When sheep are grazing, do they have any fear of wolf? So they are using this word that he will enjoy so much that you don't even need to worry about the wolf. Because next ayah he will have this concern, right? This is very important. Yarta, he will eat. He will enjoy like the sheep are grazing, so no worries. Wa yal'ab. And he will enjoy, he will play. وَإِنَّا لَهُ لَحَافِظُونَ. And we will make sure that we will protect him. So he said, the brother said to Yaqub, I want you to pay attention, that he will play and we will protect him. Are you following? 5 ayah down the road, they will say, we were playing and he was protecting our stuff and wolf ate him. Did you see something? Liars need to have good memories, right? Right? So they are making a plan, but they don't even remember what was the plan. Right now they are saying he will play and we will protect him. Okay. Let's see Yaqub's response.
قال إني ليحزنني أن تذهبوا به وأخاف أن يأكله الذئب وأنتم عنه غافلون قالوا لئن أكله الذئب ونحن عصبة إنا إذا لخاسرون.
MashaAllah. So Yaqub responded when they were asking every now and then, it's becoming almost gradual acceptance that he wasn't able to stop his sons from taking Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. So he says, Inni la yahzununi an tazhabu bi. It really makes me sad that you are taking him away for enjoyment, for eating. Wa akhafu an ya'kulahu adh-dhib. And I'm scared that the wolf, adh-dhib, the wolf will come, wa antum anhu ghafilun, and you all will be unaware of him. Okay, now tell me one thing. When he says adh-dhib, the wolf, you know what he's saying? Some of these scholars say that he is actually saying that he did not say any wolf or few wolves. He said the wolf, means he knew the social security number of the wolf, the wolf. Some scholars said that basically he was either referring to shaitan, mentioned earlier, or he was saying that although you are saying that he will enjoy like a grazing sheep without any fear of wolf, but I can see wolf in front of me. So he's using metaphorical language that I am afraid of the wolf. That's basically you have the characteristic, you have some plan. Or there are other ways of looking at this ayah also. So that's one of you. The other way of looking at this ayah is that in that particular area, the wolf attacking is a common thing. So that's also one of the ways. So he said that I have this fear, wolf will attack him. I have this fear. The brother said, and this is such a darker, sarcastic tafseer, or maybe darker interpretation of this particular ayah. Allah says, قَالُوا لَإِنْ أَكَلَهُ الذِّئْبُ وَنَحْنُ عُصْبَةٌ. The brother said, how can wolf do anything to our brother? How can wolf eat our brother when we are powerful group? And if wolf will eat Yusuf, then we are loser. You know what it means? If wolf will eat him, then we are loser. We are planning to eat him. We are planning to do this. Wolf can't do this. So that obviously, but they didn't tell Yaqub. They said, Inna idhal khasirun. When you pay attention, when you ponder onto these words, what they are saying that we will be loser. They want to get the trust of the father, but their plan is to basically kidnap and throw Yusuf alayhi salatu in the well.
فلما ذهبوا به وأجمعوا أن يجعلوه في غيابة الجب وأوحينا إليه لتنبئنهم بأمرهم هذا وهم لا يشعرون.
Okay, you know the word lamma is telling you that the story went fast forward. So lamma means here that what exactly happened when they got him to the well is not made explicit to us because it's too horrific. So Allah is just telling us what we need to learn about our guidance. So Yaqub alayhi salam must have sent Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. Now the brothers took him, and from their point to the well, Allah is not mentioning what happened in the Quran. But what could have happened? As soon as Yaqub alayhi salam now cannot see the journey, what now? Slapping, punching, bullying, right? Because their plan is basically they are taking out their jealousy. So فَلَمَّا ذَهَبُوا بِهِ وَأَجْمَعُوا أَن يَجْعَلُوهُ فِي غِيَابَةِ الْجُبِّ. When they finally took Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, and they gathered that okay, now we have to throw him into the well. We are not killing, we are throwing him into the well, in the dark hole, in a dark well. Now Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam is being thrown in the dark well. How old is he? 7. Some scholars say 12, or others say 7. If you take both the opinion, can you imagine the traumatic experience? A 7-year-old, a 12-year-old. If you turn off the lights of your house and leave your 7 or 12-year-old, they cannot even survive. This son is being kidnapped and now is being thrown in the well. You don't know what kind of snakes and scorpions is in the well. It's a very isolated well. Can you imagine the traumatic experience? Allah says, when he was going in the well, and now brothers were making sarcastic jokes and they were beating him, he was bleeding, and now brothers left. What happened? وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْهِ لَتُنَبِّئَنَّهُمْ بِأَمْرِهِمْ هَذَا وَهُمْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. Wallahi, there is no way we can translate this in English. Allah says, we communicated with him while he was in the well. Now he was in the darkness of the well. No light can come except the light of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we communicated with Yusuf. And what did Allah say? This is such a powerful, this summarizes the entire surah, this one word. Allah says, when he was in the well, waiting for the help, Allah says, Allah put him in his heart. He's not a prophet yet, but it's inspiration. لَتُنَبِّئَنَّهُمْ بِأَمْرِهِمْ هَذَا. Yusuf, one day will come when you will going to narrate your entire story with your brothers, وَهُمْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ, in such a way that your brothers won't be even aware that you have reached such a higher level. Allahu Akbar. This kind of affirmation is coming when he's in the well. This kind of hope is coming when he's at the lowest of the well. Allah says that you will be at the very highest level, but don't become hopeless. And by the way, when we are learning Surah Yusuf, you should try to see the mirror. I told you this, right? When you are at the lowest point of your life, if you have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will going to bring you from the lowest to the highest. But have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with you. Okay, now they put Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam in well, and now what happened next, inshallah? By the way, we are going to finish in 15 minutes, inshallah. Just give me, because I want to finish, inshallah, a few ayat.
وجاءوا أباهم عشاء يبكون قالوا يا أبانا إنا ذهبنا نستبق وتركنا يوسف عند متاعنا فأكله الذئب وما أنت بمؤمن لنا ولو كنا صادقين.
Now you will see the psyche of the liars. We all, I know when you are teenager, by the way, teenagers Google 4 techniques of lying to the parents, right? I have taken some YM retreat of brothers, so I know. They were in my room. Okay. So, first thing. So brothers are now making plan. We promise to our dad, we'll protect him. We accomplish our goal of throwing him in the well. But you have to show our face to dad. So you will see in these 3 ayat, they are making plan of how to psychologically deceive the father and how verbally deceive the father. So they start with psychology, okay? They said, وَجَاءُوا أَبَاهُمْ عِشَاءٍ يَبْكُونَ. They came to their father. Obviously, now you have to understand. Now camera comes from the well to the house. What Yaqub alayhi salam must be thinking at this point? Yaqub alayhi salam is already worried, where is Yusuf? Why he did not come so late? It's already sunset. So now these brothers are coming, and they deliberately came at night. Why? What was the wisdom at that? One wisdom is so that they can show to the father that we made effort the entire day to find. And then second is that some of these scholars say that the father cannot, because back in the days you don't have lights, so the father cannot see the facial expressions. And they were crying. Okay, were they crying because of the grief, or were they crying because they want to make up the story? Okay, did we learn something? When a person is crying, when a teenager is crying, both brothers and sisters, when a teenager is crying, not necessarily is genuine. I'm not saying it's all the time not genuine. Sometimes it's genuine, sometimes it's not genuine. And there are 10 brothers. 10 brothers, not 1, not 2, 10 brothers. To collectively cry, you require some Netflix kind of a talent. I'm telling you this. Allah says, yabakun, not baka, yabakun. Consistently crying. Can you imagine this? Mudare means istimrar, consistently crying. This required when they were Hollywood actors, right? At this point. So, وَجَاءُوا أَبَاهُمْ عِشَاءٍ يَبْكُونَ. They were crying and they did not say a word. So when Yaqub alayhi salam saw 10 sons are coming, Yusuf is not with them, it's already past sunset, and they are crying. He already know that there is something, some khichdi is cooking. Something is messed up here. Okay, now they started their entire drama. Actually, we already started this ayah. They said, قَالُوا يَا أَبَانَا. And by the way, when they cried, one of the smartest thing Yaqub did not ask, where is Yusuf? Yaqub did not ask, why are you crying? He already know that you guys have cooking something. So they felt something that Yaqub alayhi salam is waiting for us to say. So they added and they said, Qalu ya abana, and listen to this. Oh our dad, inna zahabna nastabik, we went racing and we were racing and we left Yusuf to protect our material. Remember before they were saying completely opposite? And we were busy in our racing and the wolf came and basically ate Yusuf. So we didn't do anything. But they saw Yaqub. Yaqub is still quiet. Yaqub is not responding. So they added, وَمَا أَنْتَ بِمُؤْمِنٍ وَلَوْ كُنَّا صَادِقِينَ. And we know that you won't believe in us, even if we are telling the truth. Did you see now the psyche, what's going on behind these ayat? But it's still Yaqub al-Islam is quiet. They came up with another psychological deception, and that is
وجاءوا على قميصه بدم كذب قال بل سولت لكم أنفسكم أمرا فصبر جميل والله المستعان على ما تصفون.
So they realized that Yaqub al-Islam won't be deceived with this. They came with another idea. They had the shirt and they said that we're going to put the blood on the shirt to give this as a proof. So they said that this was the shirt of Yusuf and see the blood on top of it. It's a clear sign that wolf ate him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the wording bidamin kadhibin, that blood in and of itself is saying that this is entire false idea. When Yaqub saw this, Yaqub said, enough is enough. Well, sawwalat lakum anfusukum amran. Your egos are justifying something terrible to you. Nafs, here I am translating as ego. Your egos are justifying something very terrible, very horrible to you. And you're just making up. So he caught the lie, because obviously the Tafseer would say, when he saw the shirt, he would say, how merciful was the wolf that he took out the shirt in a delicate way and he gave it to the brothers, and then he took the Yusuf without the shirt, and then he had the time basically to put the color outside of his blood. And obviously there was one more reason. The blood was on top of the shirt. If the real blood would have been on the inside of the shirt. So there was, whenever you do some kind of investigation of your kids, if you will ask more questions, you will see if they are not sincere, you will easily trap them. I'm not giving, by the way, an idea to you to basically start investigating to your kids, but I'm just saying that this is what Yaqub did. But then he said something, فَصَبْرٌ جَمِيلٌ. This is something which we can take hours and hours, but we don't have time for that. فَصَبْرٌ جَمِيلٌ. Then I will going to have a graceful patience. I will have a beautiful patience. There are so many ways of looking at this. Patience will never be beautiful. Because patience is always, you have to be patient on something which is required you to act in an irrational way, but you are trying to suppress those feelings and you are being patient. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Yaqub is saying, I will be beautiful, I will be graceful in my patience. Because when you are patient, at least you are not harming yourself. Second thing, one very important thing. The same story is mentioned in Bible. Do you know this? Old Testament have the same story. But there's something very interesting. If you see the Old Testament where the story is mentioned, when Yaqub al-Islam got the news that the wolf ate Yusuf, the reaction in the Old Testament, it must have come from fabrications. You know what was the reaction in Bible? That Yaqub al-Islam start ripping off his shirt and he started yelling and screaming. Is it beautiful patience or ugly patience? Especially for a prophet. Is it appropriate? No. Now see this. When Yaqub heard this news, Qur'an uses just one word, Jameel. Graceful patience, beautiful patience. Okay, I won't do any complaint to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I will be patient with His destiny. Wallahu al-musta'anu ala ma tasifun. And Allah will help me in whatever you guys are portraying. By the way, tasifun, whenever Allah uses tasifun, it's usually for the false descriptions lying in the Quran. So Allah will going to help me regarding the false descriptions. Should we finish this 2 ayat before, because we can finish the entire scene. We'll start the next scene inshallah about the Yusuf and minister's wife and the Egypt, inshallah, next time. So let's finish this, inshallah, tonight.
وجاءت سيارة فأرسلوا واردهم فأدلى دلوه قال يا بشرى هذا غلام وأسروه بضاعة والله عليم بما يعملون وشروه بثمن بخس دراهم معدودة وكانوا فيه من الزاهدين.
Okay, now the camera goes back to the well. Where is Yusuf? In the well. By the way, you will see in Surah Yusuf something interesting. From the first until the last part, some of the inner secrets of the conversation are mentioned. This in and of itself is Quraysh are listening. If people of the book in Medina are listening, who know about Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, that Qur'an is telling those aspects of the story of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam which we even don't know in our books. This in and of itself means that this person is not making up this Qur'an from his own self, rather he's telling us from the revelation of the Almighty. Okay, Allah says on the camera, let's say, goes back to the Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, وَجَاءَتْ سَيَّارَةٌ فَأَرْسَلُوا وَارِدَهُمْ فَأَدْلَى دَلْوَى. And a group of traders came. The story is that they were lost. Their GPS got messed up back in the days, and they were looking for the water. So they tried different wells. They said none of the wells are worthy, so let's go to this particular well. They were going to Egypt. There's no way they are stopping in the middle if nothing have happened. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made them lost their cause so that they would come to this. Can you imagine this? Okay. And a group of traders came along and sent out their water scout so that the water scout can go and basically check by putting the bucket if this well have a water or not. So when a person who is a drawer, he put his bucket, and guess what? When the bucket went down, Allah inspired Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam that grab this bucket. Take a pause here. For a 7-year-old boy, if you are in the depth of the well, to grab something and to pull it back, is it easy or difficult? Difficult, right? A pregnant woman who is in the labor pains, about to give birth, is it easy for her to basically move the trunk of the date palm tree? No. She's in the pain. That's Maryam alayhi salatu wasalam. What you are learning, Allah will help you, but you have to take a first step. He could have asked, no. Allah send Jibreel, he was going to take me in his lap outside of the well. But when the bucket came, Allah said, okay, grab this bucket. He came out. You have to make an effort and then trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Similarly, Maryam alayhi salatu wasalam, when she was in the immense pain, labor pain, brothers cannot even imagine. She was in the immense pain. If you see the language of Surah Maryam, she needed help. Allah says, move, make an effort, and then Allah will give barakah. Make first effort, and then Allah will help you. Okay, bucket came, Yusuf alayhi salam grabbed it. When they start pulling, they start realizing the bucket is heavy. And when the bucket is coming up, they start realizing that actually there is a boy attached to it. Looks like that they were evil people. Immediately, they said, Ya Bushra. What is Bushra? Bushra, by the way, they didn't say, oh, sister Bushra. They didn't know that. That's not Bushra. They said, oh my goodness, there's a boy. We can sell him. Back in the days, just like you buy inventory from Walmart, back in the days, they can buy boys and girls from Walmart. Because that's the servants and slaves. Well, it's not something healthy for the community, but this was the tradition. We are talking about thousands and thousands of years. Oh my goodness, there is a kid. هَذَا غُلَامٌ وَأَسَرُّهُ بِضَاعَةٍ. The first thing they did is hide Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. Because if we won't hide him, the owners will come, they thought the owners will come and they will take our profit. So hide him, وَأَسَرُّهُ بِضَاعَةٍ, and put him in merchandise. وَاللَّهُ عَلِيمٌ بِمَا يَعْمَلُونَ, and Allah was fully aware of what they were hiding. Okay, the last ayah. By the way, this is very important, very important. These group of traders thought that they all found Yusuf by accident. That's what they thought, right? And they will benefit from Yusuf by selling him. But it was other way around, if you think about it. Allah made these traders, GPS there got messed up in the middle of the desert, And Allah made them go to this particular well to search the water. And they all became servants to pick Yusuf, because Yusuf needed a priority mail to be delivered in Egypt. Because Allah had a plan that he have to get an internship in White House, because he have to become a minister in Egypt in next few years. So he need basically a American airline ticket. And these people, the entire caravan will be stopped because they will be that American airline providing business class service to Yusuf. They thought, we are lucky, we will sell Yusuf. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's planning is, I'm using you as a servant of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. We have our own angles of looking at the things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have his own divine angle of looking at the thing. Trust Allah angle. Because what is our angle? Allah's master plan is way better than our master plan. Okay. The last thing. وَشَرَوْهُ بِثَمَنٍ بَخْسٍ دَرَاهِمَ مَعْدُودَ وَكَانُوا فِيهِ مِنَ الزَّاهِدِينَ. And they sold Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam in Egypt in a very below market rate. By the way, every human is priceless, yes or no? But especially Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam as a prophet, any price will fall short of his caliber or his value. So now you will have these traders accept less price because there is no investment. They got from somewhere. The Amber Alert is going on with the Yaqub alayhi salam. They're still looking, but now he's actually going. They sell him into the very lower than market rate, and they accepted just a few coins. وَكَانُوا فِيهِ مِنَ الزَّاهِدِينَ. And they became keen to let him go. By the way, this is where we will end, and this is something extremely, extremely important. They did not give value to Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. But who will give the value? That will come next time. Who will give the value? People of Egypt. Okay. Who is listening to this? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. First time. And this is 3 years before he even moved to Medina. That brothers of Yusuf, the town of Yusuf didn't give him value. But the other town will give him value. People of Makkah are not giving you value. There's a time will come when people in Medina are going to give you value. Subhanallah. Everything, and Rasulullah is listening for this for the first time. Subhanallah. It's mentally preparing him. And this is, by the way, a rule of thumb. Your own community, your own family sometime will not give you value, which some other people will give you value. This is natural. They will take you for granted. If you ask my parents, how is Asif Irani, they'll say he's a kachara, he's a garbage. Because I am still their son. But IANT respects me. I don't know why. Right? And Ikna also, and YM also, and Boston Islamic Seminary also. MashaAllah, there's so many. But this is natural. This is natural. And inshallah, next time we will see how, inshallah, he will going to go to Egypt, and inshallah, we'll be using very conservative language, inshallah. No worries, inshallah. Because still Murawada can be very explicit. We're using very conservative language, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khairan. If I have any questions, inshallah, I'm here. Next time I'll see you, inshallah, Saturday at 11:30, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khairan.